In a quiet American town surrounded by rolling hills and endless blue skies lived a young boy named Ethan Miller. At 16, Ethan was like any other high school student, curious, restless, and full of dreams. But unlike his friends, Ethan had one constant struggle. He couldn't control his temper. Every small setback, whether it was a bad grade, a missed basketball shot, or a harsh word from a teacher, lit a fire inside him. He would storm out of the classroom, throw things at home, and later regret it all. His father, Henry Miller, an old carpenter with a calm voice and tired eyes, would watch silently as his son's anger consumed him. One evening, after Ethan had shouted at his mother for something as trivial as a broken phone charger, Henry finally spoke. He placed his rough, calloused hand on Ethan's shoulder and said, "Son, if you can't calm your mind, the world will control you. Learn peace, and you'll never lose again." Ethan rolled his eyes. "Peace doesn't win games, Dad. Action does." Henry smiled faintly. Action without calm is chaos. A few weeks later, Ethan's basketball team reached the state semifinals. It was the biggest game of his life. Scouts were watching. College scholarships were at stake. But as the game tightened in the final quarter, a rival player elbowed him on purpose. The referee didn't call a foul. Ethan exploded, screaming, throwing his arms up, and shoving the opponent. He was ejected. His team lost. The gym fell silent as he walked off the court, shame burning in his chest. Later that night, sitting alone on his porch, Ethan's father joined him. "You lost because you let your anger win," Henry said quietly. "But you can still learn how to master your mind." Henry handed him a small wooden box. Inside, it was a folded piece of paper, yellowed with age. It read, "Peace is not found by escaping chaos. It's found by staying calm within it." For days, Ethan ignored the note. Meditation and calmness sounded like things for old monks, not athletes. He wanted to be strong, fast, and loud. But the consequences followed him. His coach benched him for the rest of the season, and his friends stopped inviting him to hang out. His reputation as the angry kid spread fast. Everywhere he went, it seemed his temper went first. One day, he overheard his father telling a neighbor, "Ethan has power, but he doesn't yet know how to hold it." That line hit him. Power, but no control. Maybe his father was right. Maybe peace wasn't weakness, it was discipline. That weekend, Henry took Ethan on a road trip into the mountains. They visited a small cabin near a calm lake, a place Henry had built years ago. There, Henry taught Ethan a simple ritual. Every morning before sunrise, they would sit on the porch facing the lake. No phones, no talking, just breathing. At first, Ethan found it ridiculous. His mind raced thinking about the noise of the city, the sting of failure, the sound of the crowd booing him. But day by day, the silence began to feel different. Softer, lighter. Henry taught him a breathing technique. "When anger rises," he said, "take one deep breath for every second you want to shout. You'll be surprised how much power you keep by saying nothing." They spent 2 weeks in that cabin. Henry showed him how to split firewood patiently, how to repair a chair, how to listen instead of react. Each task became a lesson in focus. One evening, Henry said, "Son, peace isn't the absence of noise. It's the strength to remain steady when the world is shouting." Ethan nodded quietly. For the first time, he felt the weight in his chest begin to lift. When they returned home, Ethan wasn't the same boy. He started waking up early, exercising in silence, and reading books his father gave him about stoicism, discipline, and inner strength. He practiced mindfulness before every game and test. When teammates argued, he didn't react. When teachers criticized him, he listened. It wasn't easy. His anger still knocked at the door, but he no longer opened it. His coach noticed the change. "You've got a new look in your eyes," he said, calm but focused. Ethan smiled. "My dad calls it peace." Months passed. The new season began. Ethan was back on the team, but this time as captain. During the regional finals, history tried to repeat itself. The same rival player from before shoved him again. The crowd gasped, waiting for the explosion. But Ethan just took a deep breath, looked at the scoreboard, and smiled. He whispered to himself, "Stay calm, control the storm." He played the best game of his life. His calmness spread to the whole team. They won in overtime. Reporters wrote about his mental transformation. His coach said he had become a true leader. But Ethan knew the truth. This victory wasn't on the court. It was inside his mind. Then life threw its hardest test. Henry, his father, was diagnosed with a heart condition. The doctors said he needed surgery soon. Ethan sat in the hospital waiting room, anxiety flooding him. For a moment, it felt like his world was collapsing again. The same anger at fate, at life, tried to return. But then he remembered his father's words. Peace is found by staying calm within chaos. He closed his eyes and breathed deeply. Slowly, the panic faded. He took care of his mother, spoke to the doctors, and stayed by his father's side. When Henry finally opened his eyes after surgery, Ethan was there calm, steady, smiling. Henry whispered weakly, "You've learned well, son." After his father recovered, Ethan dedicated his next basketball season to him. He led his team to the state championship and received offers from 3 colleges. But more importantly, people saw in him something new, not just talent, but grace under pressure. He began mentoring younger players, teaching them how to manage frustration and stay composed. He told them, "Your mind is like a muscle. Train it to stay calm, and it will serve you in every battle." Years later, Ethan graduated and returned to his hometown as a coach. His father, now older and slower, still watched every game from the stands. One day after practice, a young player lost his temper, throwing his ball across the court. Ethan called him over, sat beside him, and handed him a small folded piece of paper. It was the same note his father had once given him. Peace is not found by escaping chaos. It's found by staying calm within it. The boy read it, confused, but Ethan just smiled. "You'll understand when you're ready." Ethan's story spread far beyond his small town. He became known not just as a great coach, but as a man who embodied inner peace in a noisy world. He often said to his students, "Life will test you. People will doubt you, but never give up. Calm your mind, and your heart will find a way." Was number 7, "Will life will doubt you?" Because in the end, the true strength wasn't in his arms or legs. It was in the quiet, unshakable calm that his father had taught him. When life gets loud and the world feels heavy, train your mind to stay calm, because peace is not weakness. It's the ultimate form of strength.